Click, bam. A photograph was taken of a family of 5 in front of a beautiful background of Mosul, Iraq. Each member looked lively as they stared at the photographer. The mother's skin looked especially as soft with her beautiful curly hair swept to the side, smiling widely as she hugged her children tightly. The photograph was taken, but what it only captured was a loving family on the foreground. It could not capture the sounds of terror that taunted the peace of night. Behind the mother's sweet smiles was the everlasting rich man's war and poor man's battle. The family, the puppets of violence. That was my family in the photograph. I became a UN refugee and fled to America at the age of 4. Our family was forced to adjust to a new environment and make ends meet. My dad struggled with English at his gas station job. My mom struggled to take care of us in a foreign environment. Arriving in the US, I was placed in an ESL class. This newfound education became extremely valuable to me as I never had the privilege of attending a well-funded school. But the consequences that come along with learning in a foreign environment is a feeling of all your knowledge and experience being wiped away, becoming useless, and you're left feeling stupid. The constant feeling of wanting to express your knowledge, wanting to prove yourself, wanting to grab your peers and tell them, I am not stupid. I just don't know English. From that moment on, I realized the true issue of the educational systems here. See, we pride ourselves over the fact that education is the promise for the future. For tomorrow is given to people who prepare for it today. That education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Today, I stand before you with a piercing revelation. Our educational systems not only deny opportunities for success, but create egregious historically inaccuracies. And then I want to offer solutions on how to fix these underlying issues. So what happens when this valuable education isn't accessible to all? Well, 31% of immigrant individuals are enrolled in college, and 1.9 of them are undocumented. Due to federal law, schools are required to create an ESL program for incoming English language learners. However, the ESL placement alone is not enough to ensure academic progress. We are needed for more comprehensive assistance within and outside the classroom. Without funding for after-school programs, especially in lower-funded schools, these students do not have the quality education that is accessible to their peers. But the issue isn't only prevalent in immigrants. The majority of African American individuals are enrolled in schools with less qualified teachers and fewer course choices. 31% of Black American students are in schools that offer AP courses, and only 29% are actually taking at least one AP course. We cannot claim that we are allowing success in all individuals when the opportunities to be successful is only offered to a limited elite population. There is an apparent marginalization within our community, and by offering them inadequate education and separating them, we are not helping them, we are silencing them. But this issue isn't only prevalent in accessibility. It is the concept of education, the education itself, that is also an issue. We are proud of the fact that education can stretch the mind, exposing students to new topics and offering them and pushing them to do better. But how can we so confidently feel proud knowing that officials from the Florida Board of Education passed a regulation to document how some Black slaves were able to benefit from being in slavery due to being taught life skills, to be able to take away the history, the gruesome events and experiences, and wipe them away? So how can we so confidently feel proud knowing that 41% of banned books contain LGBTQ plus themes or characters, and 40% contain primary or secondary characters of color? This is a growing movement to remove access to media that depicts the social history of our nation, especially ones that relate to racism, culture, and sexuality. We are holding back our children from learning the full history, and not just the triumphs, but the dark moments as well. Let the students understand their own culture and embrace it, not deprive them from the diverse perspectives. So let us learn the entire history. Do not censor it. And yes, as a society, we are constantly growing, and yes, we have come far, but with every step we take, we are taking 2 steps back. So how do we ensure a curriculum that allows all students to prosper? I suggest that the final decision makers of course contents will be through a committee of stakeholders who are directly impacted by these educational changes. I would also include teachers, budgetary decision makers, and students from diverse backgrounds. The objective is not just to establish a high school for favorable education, but to create a community where every voice is heard and valued. Albert Einstein once said that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. So if you create a curriculum that adheres to only a certain group of students, the rest will believe it is their fault for not doing well. We are the leaders of tomorrow, so let us be the change that allows future generations to flourish. We are not the same small fish trapped in a fishbowl anymore. Thank you.